Hey guys, how you doing? It's mrfuzylegocommissions. Welcome back to our custom LEGO minifigure video. Today I'm showing you 5 minifigures from the original Nintendo 64 Paper Mario game. And let me first start off by saying this is one of my favorite games of all time. It's literally up there with Earthbound. It's one of the most influential and just nostalgic games for me. I pretty much, played a part in helping me learn how to read the English language because this is an RPG and it's very text heavy. But this is just a big passion project for me. It's just one of my favorite games of all time, and I wanted to make some good quality figures because I did make a few minifigures 2 years ago for Paper Mario, and those were just kind of an excuse to make most of the partners. In fact, I think I did make all of them except for Sushi. But this time I only have 3 of the partners because these are just my favorite ones, or at least the ones that remind me most of Paper Mario. And I have Paper Mario and Paper Peach because they're pretty cool as well. I did want to have Paper Bowser as well, but I only have one that connects Bowser figures, and I don't want to really make him a paper-looking version, so I'll just skip out for now and just have good old Paper Mario and good old Paper Peach. And and without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with these minifigures. The first minifigure I'm going to show you is Mario in all of his paper glory. You can see that I tried all sorts of new elements on this figure, such as outlining like everything. That includes the shoe details, the detail around the hair, and of course even on the hat, which I'll show you how that's done. But this is just actually my 5th Mario that I've made, and I'm going to add to the collection. You can see here's my other Marios that I've made in the past. So many different Marios. This is really fun to add yet another one to my collection and pieces. Oh boy. But yeah, this one is just, this is Paper Mario. And so this is made primarily based on the promotional art that was released for the game. And you can see that even the hair is, like, underneath there is outlined, and some of the back hair pieces too is outlined. And the the ear detail, even these like bits around the hands are even outlined. I tried to make it look like it was paper, and that was really fun. The buttons are 3-dimensional, and they're kind of even outlined. First started out with a coat of black around it, and then of course the yellow on the inside, and of course his hammer, which is very iconic to Paper Mario, and of course like pretty much not even like not only Paper Mario, but every single Mario RPG. Super Mario RPG, the Mario and Luigi series. It's literally everywhere. So I had to give it yet another version of Mario. And this is probably one of the most one of the most accessories that I've made like the most times. I've made Paper Mario's hammer so many times, and this is simply just one that's has a lot of different outlining bits to it. You can see the different pieces there, and you can see that I just use a rod to stick it in place. But yeah, removing it, you can see the figure is really simple, kind of on its own. A really nice addition to my Mario, and of course I did paint his hat black, like the bill of it black, because just how it is in game and also on the promotional. He has a black bill for some reason, but this is just a really simple minifigure. I'm really glad that I got to make another Paper Mario, and I think that he came out really good. Next up is Peach in all her paper glory, and this is also multiple different versions of Peach I've made. I've made 3 different Peaches at this point. You have Smash Peach over here, and then you have, of course, N64, more modern looking Peach. This is just kind of a very basic looking one, and this, the way the dress was made is pretty much exactly the way I did this one, where you start with doing the inside of like one of those cone pieces. I don't even know what they're called, but they're kind of like those big tank things, and then you cover them in clay, like layer by layer. This one especially was made with, layer by layer until you have this nice kind of smooth edge, and then you just kind of attach the torso on and then just fill it in with different colors. And of course she doesn't really even stand up on pieces. I just kind of set her on this, and she seems to stand up pretty fine. But this is just kind of a very basic figure. She doesn't really do much because, by herself. I was going to make Twink, but I kind of didn't have a star piece, and I didn't really want to try and make it like this is the best I could do. And speaking of which, this is a star rod. I didn't really know who to give it to, so I gave it to Peach. I thought it would be a cool little thing to give her. It's basically just a rod with some different pieces that I cut up and then painted up, and then I also made a star up there on the top, and I said up like 4 times in that sentence. And I also gave her, this umbrella, the parasol that she uses towards the later half of the game, where she kind of has to go into disguise and stuff. So I did have this, no painted details. It's literally just an umbrella piece that I had laying around that I thought would be pretty cool. And yeah, she's also got lots of outlining bits, especially down here and here and in here and everything. And I did not outline her hair. I was going to, but that is just too much hair to outline. I didn't really feel like, that was really necessary. Did give her some little earrings, and I think she came out really nice. The crown is also really cool at the top, one of my best crowns. And just of course, here's a little comparison with Mario. I think that they look really awesome together. And of course, the star rod's in the way. Come on, there we go. I think they look really cool together. So yeah, that is pretty much it for N64 Paper Peach. And of course, if I was ever gonna make more modern Paper Peach, I probably would change the hair and give her a different expression. But this is simply Peach as she appeared in the Paper Mario for the Nintendo 64. The first up are the partners is, of course, Goombario, and when thinking of Paper Mario partners, one of the first things that comes to mind is, of course, Goombario, who is the very first partner you get. He's just a Goomba with a blue hat on, and this one is pretty, well, he's small, to say the least. I didn't really do a whole lot on him. I did give him these little balls down here, actually, and that sounds weird, but, you know, instead of giving him, like, you know, like a jumper or whatever piece I wanted to use for his feet, I literally just made feet, and so his body is literally just those two 1x1 stacked together, and then the actual body or the legs are just balls that I painted on there, or, you know, sculpted and painted. But, yeah, the face is where most of the work came in. He does have these little, the detailing on the hat, like the bill, as you can see up there. It kind of wraps around the whole thing. And that's really nice. He does have these little cheeks and his eyes. He's very simplistic if you can't tell. There's really not a whole lot I can say about him. I will give Paper Mario here for scale, or if he wants to tattle or something. It's just, he's very tiny. So, you know, 1/360, I did use the piece that people use for Goombas since the very early days of customizing. It's a very nostalgic looking figure, and that's really it for Paper Mario. So that's not Paper Mario. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's about it for Goombario. So we're gonna go on to the next partner. The second to last minifigure is Kooper, who is the second partner you get in the original Paper Mario game, and also one of my favorite partners overall. He's kind of actually devoid of any personality, but he really wants to be an adventurer, and I can really respect that. And this is just a much better minifigure than the one I made 2 years ago, honestly. I think this one came out really well, and the shell is just one of those Army Man helmets, which was pretty cool. And you can see that I did a lot of outlining on this guy, specifically, you know, on the torso down here, on the little scarf he has, the different parts he has around his arms, and the boots, and the head, and I even did, like, the eyes three-dimensional because they just weren't working whenever I painted them onto the cheat slope up here. And this is something that I use mainly for a lot of Koopa-looking characters, you know, Yoshi's specifically I use those for. And this one just came out really nice. I really like the bandages onto the side of the cheek. I knew that was going to come out really nice because the white electrical tape is really easy to work with most of the time, so that just came out super clean. And yeah, this little bandage does exist on his promotional art from the side, so I thought that would be a nice inclusion. I don't think it's really visible in sprite or in game, but it's there on the promotional art, so I wanted to do that. And his shell looks really nice too. It's hard to paint a shell, really, so that's just the best I could do, really. And his arms move. I did not paint the interiors of his torso because there's no need to, because it's just going to scratch off. And his mouth does look really nice, and there's really not much to say about Kooper, and of course here's just generic scale between different Paper Mario characters. So that's really it for Kooper, so let's go on to the final minifigure, or partner, or whatever you want to call her. Last but not least is Bo, who is really probably my favorite partner in the original Paper Mario game, and I've made so many different versions of Bo, from just literally sculpting it like this, or using different Lego pieces like cabinets like people have been doing. But this is just a really nice minifigure. I decided I wanted to just sculpt onto it using this transparent rod as a little base, so the whole figure just really pretty much looks like this when you take it off the stand, which looks really nice, and it's just a very cool little figure. Obviously, there's no posability to it, and it's not even really Lego unless you count this rod. I was going to make a little fan, and so the arm is positioned to actually hold her fan, but I didn't really get around to that. But this is just a really nice minifigure. I think the only problem with it is that I painted the actual, you know, her base color too much of a dark green. I really wish I used more of a lighter minty color, which I didn't really have. So this is the best I have. I think it was winterberry green or something. But one part of this figure that was super hard to paint was the bows, and you can see that there's actually a bit of outlining depth to them, and those are really cool because I painted the whole things in black, and you can see the black outline over there. And it was just, it's difficult to paint inside these little crevices. If I can show you, it's not exactly the cleanest, but I had to first of all paint inside the crevice, and then like paint over it with my winterberry green color, and that was just super challenging, honestly. This is one of my, one of the more difficult figures, and I did of course gloss this because it wasn't looking too good whenever I actually finished, and this cracked while making it, which was really frustrating. But I got it done, and I think this came out really nice. Not my favorite figure in this collection, but definitely up there, probably with Paper Mario. I just love the way it's on the stand. I love the face that I painted on there, and I think it just came out really good. And one more 360 here. And that's about it for Bo and these Paper Mario figures. So let's go ahead and wrap up this video. That's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, you can leave a like and a comment down below if you feel so inclined, and make sure to check out my description where you can find all my links to social media platforms, and if you'd like to order commission, there's information for my Gmail and my Instagram down below if you want to take a look at the commission stuff and order yourself a commission from me. And that's going to be it for this video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.